back once again to the Tandie Born2Differ show. I'm super excited. In fact, I'm always excited when I have an episode because I always have special guests. And today I am joined by none other than a man who I have seen on so many platforms doing amazing things, including singing, preaching, sharing the word of God, motivating, inspiring people in the work that he himself does. And above all, he is a minister, a man who is proud to be called a child of God and shares and delivers the word. None other than himself, Minister Obert Mazivisa. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited as well. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, please don't. Minister Obert, it's a pleasure to have you here today, and I cannot express my excitement when I heard that you were definitely going to be coming and you confirmed. Oh my goodness, that was the greatest thing because I'm sure you're a very busy man.
All that considered, when I had that Tandie Jacobs wants me to come, I was like, wow, it's one of the top shows. So yeah, I'm somebody.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Really? Oh my gosh!
So I was equally excited as well.
Well, that's exciting. It was
that important that I had to make sure that I had to be available.
Thank you very much. I am very impressed. Thank you. I'm flattered. Thank you. Minister Obert Mazivisa, you are a very popular man. Yeah. Very popular man. I mean, okay. I actually had the pleasure of looking. I said to myself, I wonder how many likes and viewers and followers on YouTube. And I said, oh my God, so many, so many. And I said, subscribe, because you are very popular in the work that you do, which is absolutely amazing. But before we talk about that, a little bit about yourself. I know you're a man who's married, you got 2 children. Mm-hmm. When did you come here from Zimbabwe?
When did I come here from Zimbabwe?
UK, yeah.
On the 31st of January 2001.
Okay, do you know the time as well?
It was in the morning.
So from 2001, that's when you came into the UK?
That's right.
Okay,
yeah.
So a little bit more about yourself and what you do, whether here or back home or here in the UK or in Zimbabwe. A little bit about yourself.
Well, you gotta be specific of where do I take this little bit, because my life it's got like segments of breakthroughs. From there's another breakthrough. But basically, I was born in Zimbabwe, rural Gokwe.
Okay.
Yeah. The little that I know about that is I was born. My parents had moved into a new place. They had not built anything there. Okay. So it was almost like in the bush. And they'd built, I don't know if you know something called Musasa in Shona. It's like a temporary shelter.
Oh, okay.
Built with grass and all that.
Okay.
So that's where I was born.
All right.
Not in a hospital.
Not in a hospital?
No.
Wow. Do you have any siblings?
I do, yeah. I'm the third born of. We were 8,
okay.
But 7 now.
7 now.
Yeah.
Wow. And no, I haven't been to Gokwe, and I don't think I know the Musasa that you're talking about.
No, you wouldn't know. It's no longer there, but that's how I was born, and I grew up there.
And then, so here in the UK, with your family and your siblings and your family's here as well? And you've settled?
Not all of them.
Okay.
But most of them are still in Zimbabwe. Yeah, but I am here with my family.
Okay. Now, we're going to be taking a quick break, but when we come back, we want to talk about your singing. Because before we talk about the singing, it's about the dancing. That I want to talk about, because I think that is one of the unique things I love about you. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Tandie Born2Differ show, where I'm sitting here with Minister Obert Mazivisa, and he has been telling us a little bit about his family. But before we took a quick break, I had actually said we want to talk a little bit about your dancing and the music that you were into. And listening to, I think in one of the interviews that you had recently, there was a mention of how you started dancing when you were at school. And you used to go on stage and dance at school, am I right?
I used to be, back home, if you remember the traditional dancing.
Okay, yeah.
I used to dance in that when I was grade, whatever, all the little grades going up at school. That's what I was doing. I left that when I went to secondary school because it wasn't cool anymore.
It wasn't cool anymore to be dancing.
To be dancing these traditional things and wearing now.
No.
So I left it, yeah.
And so when you were at high school, so I want to come back to when did you then start singing and dancing the way you do? Because if you stopped at high school, at what stage did you then pick it up?
Well, I was doing that at school, but I was still doing the dancing at church. So the dancing at church never stopped. Continued going, dancing and dancing and dancing. My early years, I was in ZCC, yeah? The ones that dance like, and they, that one.
Okay, yeah.
And when I was in Form 2, I then received the Lord in Zayoja, Forward in Faith. Okay. So the dancing style changed, but the dancing continued.
Right. So, so before you were dancing for something else.
Yeah.
And then when you were at the age of about 14, 15, you gave your life to Christ.
Yes.
And then started dancing in church. You brought the dancing into church.
Into church, yeah. I just transited from there to there and continued.
Wow, I love that. And then, so... I mean, I can imagine that during that time, because you've got a lot of energy. Okay, I thought I had energy until I saw you. It was completely different. Okay, I love the energy that you bring when you are performing, when you are on stage. It's absolutely amazing. Was there any controversy?
That one.
Yes, that one.
I hear you.
Was there any controversy? When you were doing these kind of dances at church? I do know Zayoja is Pentecostal.
It is, yeah. Did I back then? Yes. Do I still get it today? Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Because not everybody accepts. It's like when you're dancing.
Yeah.
People expect a certain dancing for church and a certain dancing for that, a certain dancing
for the
that.
Club.
So
for nightclubs.
It depends how you look at it when someone is dancing and what you think about dancing, and then you interpret it, and then at the end of the day you think, no, that's not praising God. You can't praise God like that. But who knows what God wants? I always say this to people. I never chose to dance the way that I dance. I didn't sit down and say, okay, God, give me this one, give me this one. So when I dance, when God asks me to give him a dance, I give him what I have. I can't dance like you. I can't dance the way you like, because I'm actually not dancing for you.
No.
The one I'm doing it for, that's what he gave me, so I'm giving him what he gave to me. So why is it your problem with you? Because it's not for you, is it?
And that is quite interesting, isn't it? Because there is a lot of, you see, people have got a lot of connotation that comes with what you should do in church, how you should dress, how you should walk, how you should dance, how you should sing. And sometimes you do ask yourself, is this what God wants? Is this what I'm supposed to do? And I've heard of a lot of Christians who have left some ministries or some churches, some organizations, or people who have said, I'm a Christian, but I don't go to church because of certain things like this, And it's quite interesting with what you're saying, because with the way you perform, the way you dance, and people up until now, they are still challenging you and thinking that it's not right or it's not appropriate.
Yeah, definitely. The only problem prior, when I was younger, it would affect me to an extent that I'll think, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong or something like that. But with experience and And also, I've been doing, whenever I do it, people get excited.
Yes.
But obviously, there's one or two that think it's not good. My job when I go on stage, whether I am in church or wherever I am, my job when I'm on stage is to make people forget about porridge that is not at home, forget about bills, forget about all their troubles, and just enjoy themselves. I challenge people, if let's say my church is got a band there and is playing there, I am there. I want to say, let's go. Let's see where more people will come. I'm still doing the work of God.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's the problem. When I go on stage, I've got no limits. I switch or I change, I become something else. I've got no limits as to what I can do. Anything is possible as long as I'm making the audience give them what they want, especially if they have paid. It becomes even more.
It's even more.
Yes, because I need to give them something that is worth their money.
Wow. No, that is amazing. And I think that is, if anybody's going to be listening to this, that is actually quite uplifting. The fact that you said before it used to affect me, but now it doesn't affect me anymore because of the fact that you've grown and you're more confident with yourself, and above all, you're doing it for God. It's not really for man, is it? Well,
no, it's not. It's not. It is. The fact is, the bottom line, I'm doing it for God. But while I'm doing it for God, it helps people.
It does. It does.
Because if I tell you, if you're depressed, you come to my show, you'll come back a different person altogether.
Oh yes.
Definitely.
I remember one time when I came, you were performing in Slough, probably a few years ago.
Okay.
You were performing in Slough, and it was Slough, wasn't it? It was in Slough, and you were performing there, and I remember that was the first time that I saw you.
Okay.
And I said to myself, wow, he can dance like that? It's allowed to dance like that? Because I'd never seen it.
Right.
I'd never seen it being done, and a lot of people are very reserved when it comes to dancing, and rightfully so, like what you said, that it depends on what God is saying to me.
That's right.
You have your own personal relationship with God, and this is what He's saying to you and where you're dancing. And I mean, it's also the story of David, isn't it? Where he said, I danced and I took my clothes.
He took his clothes off.
Yes.
See, the thing is, what causes people to dance? Let me talk about myself. What causes me to dance? Number one, I talked about, I'm someone who is at a job. God, who is my boss, is watching. He is expecting me to deliver. So I have to do all that, because I don't know what's going to please him. So I have to do everything that I can to make that happen. And another thing is that I'm a man who, I told you earlier on, born in rural Gokwe, right there. I'm in the UK. Do you understand? Now I'm on Tandie Jacob's shore. Now, tell me, is there no reason for me to dance? What can I give God to say thank you? I have got nothing. I will do anything that I can, whether you like it or not, because what God did for me, you can't do it for me.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. And I think, you know what we should do? We should just clear this dance floor and we should just dance. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. And we're back again to the Tandie Jacobs Born2Differ show, where this episode is full of energy because the guest I have brings a lot of energy to it. Minister Obert, okay, so with the dancing, dancing comes with singing, because you are also gifted with an amazing voice and you've produced quite a few songs as well as albums. Am I right?
Yeah.
Quite a number of albums that you've produced. I think the latest song, correct me if I'm wrong, is Count My Blessings.
That's right, yeah.
And it's quite popular, and I actually love it myself. And what inspires you when you write these songs?
Again, I write songs because I've got a message, or God has given me a message to give to people. So that's the reason why I am passing a message, and then I use music to help me pass that message. Okay. Yeah, that's how I wrote my songs, and sometimes I've got a situation. Sorry about that. So no, sorry. So I've got a situation that I feel I've got a contribution to contribute to a particular situation, whatever is happening. If I just talk about it, you will not listen to me. I put it in a song.
Okay, and I like that. I like that. What challenges have you faced having produced? Did you start producing music here in the UK, or did you start in Zimbabwe?
Well, as someone who I've always been singing, and in Zimbabwe it's been difficult to record.
Okay.
Obviously, that time there used to be the grammar, you had to get a contract and things like that, so it wasn't easy. There was no, these studios that we have now where you just go and pay your money and you record. We're not there. So I then started recording when I came here. That was in 2002. That's when I started recording my first album. But I've always been singing. I've always been singing and always been composing songs.
Wow, that's amazing. And then, so composing, recording and singing songs here in the UK, what challenges or what kind of challenges have you faced?
The biggest challenge here in the music industry, Zimbabwean music industry in the UK, is that number one, we are always, if you're singing to the Zimbabwean community or the Zimbabwean audience, you're always behind, because we are looking at what is happening in Zimbabwe, and then while they are there, you're trying to get to there. By the time you get there, they've moved.
Okay.
So the biggest problem is of marketing. If I'm in Zimbabwe, I'll go to ZBC, one TV station in the whole nation. I go to ZBC. If I'm there, I know I've reached the whole country.
Right.
I can count the radio stations that are in Zimbabwe.
Okay. So
it's easier to say, okay, this week I'm going to Radio Zimbabwe, I'm going to Star FM, I'm going to this, and you finish them.
Okay.
Here, you've got millions of them. And now you don't know which one do I target if I'm to reach everybody.
But don't you think, aren't the platforms like YouTube and Facebook, aren't they beneficial in a way in terms of marketing your music?
They are beneficial, but you need people who can show you what to do. Because you can go on YouTube, you find someone else with a very good song. It's got only 200 views. Yeah. So yes, it's good. Just putting it there does not get the job done. It's like just recording. I've got a lot of artists who have recorded, put a lot of money into recording, and they think it ends on recording. The real work starts after you've finished recording. Now you need to push that product to people. You want to make it to reach to people. That's the biggest challenge. We have got to have our music reach the Zimbabwean, because until your music is accepted in the Zimbabwean industry, you don't feel like you're an artist.
So is your music only targeted to the Zimbabwean community, or it's large?
My songs, when I write my songs, exactly, I decide this is specifically for a Zimbabwean audience. This is for this audience. Counting My Blessings is not targeted to the Zimbabwean audience. It is for everybody. That's why it's purely, it's all English and all that. I've got another song coming called African Queen. That one is focused on the Zimbabwean audience and Africa.
Okay.
So if I'm marketing that one, I'm looking at African channels and mainly Zimbabwean and things like that. So the style and the planning of that marketing is different from Counting My Blessings.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I see. And you have traveled quite a bit in terms of performance and singing in different places in different countries. Is that right?
I have, yes. That's why when I start to dance, you will not understand why I'm dancing like that, because God has favored me a lot. I've traveled, I don't know how many countries I've been to sing because of this gift of singing. Mainly dancing, because my dancing is unique. I don't have a great voice. Actually, another secret is I'm not a great dancer, but I just be myself. And as soon as I am myself, no one can do like I do. I look at other people who dance, I'm like, hey, this one can dance. Now, what am I going to do? If someone comes off stage and you're off stage, you're going next, you're thinking, what am I going to do? People are already excited. You just go on stage, be yourself, and you'll be surprised. People like it.
Wow. Well, I think you're a great dancer. I think you're great.
Thank you.
You know, you bring the energy. So, with everything that you have faced and you've gone through in your own personal life, how would you motivate and inspire some people who want to be able to be musicians or to better their lives in terms of Christianity, especially if they're Christians? How do they go about with this walk of life?
In all that, probably people have had this over and over and over again. The biggest instrument that you have is yourself.
Okay.
I always say that discover who you are, know yourself, because that's your unique selling point. If I am what I am, you can give me any stage. As long as I'm being myself, I have space on any stage in the world.
Okay.
So biggest problem is that because of the world that we are in, most people are not comfortable with they're not confident with themselves. They are trying to be like somebody else. I can say if people want to hire Titan to come and sing at their show, they will find him.
Yeah.
So if I pretend to be him or try to be him, they'll not come to me.
No.
They'll find him.
No.
So you gotta develop your own thing.
Your own
Be
style.
yourself. Yeah, be yourself. Improve yourself, your style, because that's your unique selling point. It cannot be duplicated. If anybody duplicates it, they'll say, he's trying to be like Mazivisa. Do you know what I mean? So that's one thing that is, the day that I realized that, that's what changed, part of the things that changed my life, because I discovered that there is actually nothing wrong with me.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with my accent, nothing wrong with my skin, nothing wrong with the way I dance, nothing wrong with the way I sing. That's who I am. So the moment you accept yourself, people will then learn to accept you.
Accept you as you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing about this show as well, because that's why we actually say Tandie was born to differ.
Yes.
Because I believe each and every person was born to be different.
Exactly.
And that there are no two people who are the same.
No,
and
true.
you know, one of the verses that I love that's in the Bible, when he says that I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. I knew you. It didn't say I knew your mother who then no. It was you specifically.
Jeremiah
you.
1 verse 5.
Exactly. I knew you. You know, and I when that spoke to me, I remember saying to myself that I have a purpose and a reason to be here, and I need to be able to let the world see that. You know, let the world see who I am. And exactly with what you were saying with your music and with everything that you're doing, that be yourself in what you're doing.
Very, very, very true. That's actually one of the things that I'm preaching about these days whenever I go to preach about, because I discovered that your parents want you to be something else, the community wants you to be something else, your friends want you to be something else, but there's something that you really are, which is why God created you. Because purpose existed before you were created. You were created because there was a purpose that God wanted to achieve. The scripture that you're talking about, God wanted a prophet. So he created Jeremiah so that there can be a prophet. If you go to the book of Genesis, you find out that God said, now we've created everything else. We want somebody who can go and be in charge of all these things before man was created. And then God said, let us now create this way. So purpose existed first before you became. So your success, your true success, is when you come and you fulfill that purpose. The truth of the matter is, you can be excited with money, riches, and everything else. True satisfaction, we will only find it when you have done that thing that God created you to do. When you are in that thing, whether it's giving you money or not, it gives you satisfaction that nobody can give you.
So at what stage, with what you have said, at what stage did you then realize that this was my calling with what you were doing right now?
When I discovered that those people that sing will tell you that before you go on stage, you're wondering, what am I going to do? Oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then you go on stage, you do whatever happens there, and people clap their hands and people say, oh, wow, that was wonderful. And think, maybe they're just saying, one show goes, you do another one. And you then discover that it's not a coincidence. Things that other people struggle with when they go on stage, they just come naturally. So it happens several times, and when I am there, I am in another world. I feel like this is my thing.
Element. I'm in my element right now.
I'm doing nothing. Where I'm there, I'm the king, the queen, and the prince, everybody. I am ruling. So then, by experience, then you discover that, oh, this is the thing that I'm really comfortable. I didn't need anybody to teach me. It just happens naturally. So it's now up to me to develop it, to become better and better. So that's how I discovered, no, it's not coincidence. Because if it was coincidence, it could have ended when I was in Zimbabwe. But when I came here, it's still continuing. I went to white people churches. I went to other countries' churches, and I do the same thing. People are blessed, people are happy. So it's not coincidence. It's not just people trying to cheer me up. It's me. That's who I am.
You see, you said something, I want to ask you that question. Have you ever, being in Zimbabwe as your church, have you ever faced a challenge when there is something that's happening within the church and you are there where you sing in church, and at the same time you've been booked or hired or you're performing somewhere live, and then you're in a difficult situation where you have to one or the other? Have you ever come across a situation like that?
Yeah, definitely I have, and that's one of the things that I can thank God for, because I've managed. Other people, if they try to do what I do, your church will chase you away from your church because they will not understand what you're trying to do. But the grace that the favor that I've found is that I can be able to say to my pastor, I'm going to perform at such and such a place in another church, and they will understand it. Why? Because when I am at my church, I'm not an artist. Right. I do the work. Okay. You see, I serve at my church for free. I don't get paid to serve at my local church. I'm like I told. Did I tell you? I'm a leader. I do the work. I work. Yeah, I work. When I'm at work, I go somewhere else. I do what happens there. Most importantly, if there are big functions in my church and there is an event that is happening somewhere else, I try by all means not to book same things together, because I'm needed in my church. I'm not just a leader for the name. I'm a leader who does the work. So I make sure to try and balance them off, so that the other one doesn't suffer because of the other one. But it's always difficult. Well,
I think it's something which I've heard quite a few artists or musicians say, that sometimes, in as much as they are within their church, they're singing and they're doing very well, or whatever gift that you may have, but then there comes a time when, if they are booked for that same gift that they've been given to go and do it somewhere else, they are not given the permission to do it, or they are not they are restricted or not encouraged to take those roles. And sometimes at the end it stops them from exceeding, in their life and going up further. And I've always wondered, at what stage or why do some pastors or leaders stop children within the congregation from expanding and from growing? That's something that I've never gotten to understand, and whenever people listen to me, I don't have an answer. Really.
Exactly. Maybe it is to the pastors or any leaders that are responsible for these young people. A great leader or a great mentor, you should be able to mentor someone who can do the work even in your absence, even away from you. If it only works when you in your church, then I don't think you've done a good job. Right. To prove us that you've done a good job, I should be able to go and serve somewhere else and be as effective. So if you don't allow me to go there, I'll never be able to test that. Now, have you ever grown when you were a child? You're a mother now, and Have you ever had your parent allow you to touch fire, to touch things that are hot?
Well, they don't normally want us to touch them.
They don't want you.
Yeah.
But there are some times where they say, other parents will say, let him feel the heat.
You
so that you know that
this
hot.
is
So if you are, because what happens with most of the pastors to allow you to go out to other churches, they don't know what you're gonna bring, because every church have got its own spirit, its own influence. They are afraid of losing you. But if you really want to keep that person, let them go, let them testify, let them get banned, because if you are in Zayoja, most people in Zayoja don't think the other church is better.
Right.
That's why you find you go to AFM, people in AFM, they think, oh, the people in Zayoja, they are better. I wish I was. I've met artists who are in other churches. They think, Zayoja, you guys are, your church supports you. But me in my church, I'm thinking my church doesn't support me. So it goes back to how you relate with your leadership. Because that problem will always be there.
It will.
They want you to be there all the time, even if it's not paying you. But you need to go there and get paid. So you have to, I've said this and some people thought it's controversial. When you're going to preach, when you're praying for your pastor to preach, you say you pray for God to use them. Am I right? For God to use them. Yes. Exactly. When I'm praying, I pray, so God use me. So there's an issue about using one another. So you got to find a way to let the church use you. Right. And also use the church. Right. So there has to be that relationship. It becomes controversial that way again. So create a relationship. Make it possible for that to happen. I'm an example to you, to everybody, young people. That I'm an example that I can sing in my church. I can sing in other churches, and my church will not have a problem with that.
And I think the fact that, in as much as I may go to another church, sing in there, perform in another country or another church, I still come. I know where home is. I still come back home.
But if we are not sure if this is your home,
we're
not sure now where you are. There is not two questions. Like I'm telling you now, and I'm on Tandie Jacob's show, and I'm telling everybody, I am a leader in Zayoja Forward in Faith. That's my home. So if you see me somewhere else, I am there to save and minister, or I've been paid to do it, whatever it is that you want to call it. Or to perform, others says it's not performance, it's ministering, whatever it is. That's what I'm doing there. But my home and my church is Forward in Faith. That's where I belong. There's no two questions about that.
All right. We've heard that loud and clear on the Tandie Jacobs show. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. Welcome back to the Tandie Jacobs Born2Differ show with Minister Obert Mazivisa, and we've been discussing quite a lot of things on today, but we are gonna jump into our game. Yes,
I'm nervous.
I'm quite excited. It's a 1 minute where I will be asking you some questions. Okay, the first 5 questions you have to give us one answer. Okay, for all of the questions. But the first 5 questions we want the correct answers, and the second 5 questions we want the wrong answer.
Okay. All right.
Is that all right?
If I get anything wrong, will I be penalized or fined?
Yes. We will not shoot the episode if you get it wrong.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No. You will not be penalized, but we'll tell you at the end. Is that all right? Yeah. So we've got a timer. Are we ready with the timer? Yes. And we're ready to go now. If you could do one thing to save the world, what would it be?
Sing.
How many suits do you have?
I don't know.
What is your favorite destination to perform at?
Destination Zimbabwe.
If you could open a church, what would you name it?
Obert Mazivisa Ministries Church.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
To heal people.
Wow. Wrong answers like that. Wrong answers now. What is the tallest building in the world?
The tallest building, your house.
How do you cook sadza?
How do you cook sadza? With water?
Where does beef come from?
Chicken.
What food does a bird eat?
Salsa.
Which body? You had one last question to go. And it is, which body parts do we use to sing?
Hands. Supposed to be the wrong answer.
It's supposed to be the wrong answer. It's questions that you have to think about the answers, isn't it? You don't want to give the right answer.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, yeah.
No, that was more like a commercial break and a little game that we do. But it's been absolutely fantastic having you onto the show today. But before I round up, do you have anything that you'd like to say? Any closing remarks that you'd like to say to the audience?
Okay, what I would say is that you're looking at a young man, I don't know if I'm still young, but you're looking at a man who God raised from nothing into something. And I believe that you can be anything that God has said you should be. Don't try to be somebody else, be yourself. Build yourself, build your confidence in who you are. Develop yourself and be exactly what God called you to be. You will find success in that. As soon as you do that, money will follow it. Thank you. God bless you. Was that good enough?
And that was fantastic. Thank you very, very much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here today, and I'm absolutely honored that you were with us and you spent your time to be with us today. It is such a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, God bless you for having me. I had a wonderful time. I was laughing. My cheeks are now hazy.
Your makeup is okay, don't worry.
Is it okay? Thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been absolutely fantastic being on the Tandie Jacobs show today with Minister Obert Mazivisa. He has said a lot of things and I have laughed a lot. The only thing I didn't do is create a stage for him to dance. But I hope to do that next time. See you next time. Take care.